Last year, Olivia heard about ChatGPT, and she kind of just shrugged her shoulders. Now, Olivia is a real person. She's a 25-year-old copywriter in San Francisco. Many of her colleagues started spreading around articles about how to best use ChatGPT, and soon her assignments became less and less and less. And on internal chat groups, people started referring to assignments as Olivia/ChatGPT. Within just 6 months after ChatGPT launched, she would get fired. She no longer had a job, and she was the company's only writer. See, the question is not if AI will replace jobs. It already has. The question is much deeper than that. Will it replace all jobs? And will there even be a need for humans to work? And if the answer is no, should the government give you money to live?
I don't think we're gonna have a choice.
This might sound crazy, but the idea is being tested in cities and countries around the world. See, imagine a big pot of money that the government uses to fund all sorts of things, like schools, roads, and hospitals. This pot is filled with money from taxes. But now imagine that the government decides to start a new program where it gives everyone in the country a certain amount of money every month, no matter how much money you already make. This is called universal basic income, and it may be coming. Elon Musk thinks it's inevitable. The government will eventually just be paying us to live, since technology will be handling every job. Some economists predict that AI will replace hundreds of millions of jobs in the biggest transformation of work since the Industrial Revolution. But during the Industrial Revolution, millions of jobs were replaced with new jobs. Now, some studies say the majority of jobs in the next decade don't even exist now. But you have to wonder, is this time different than the Industrial Revolution? Because AI will advance faster than any human brain. So, will AI save any work left for us? Up to 800 million jobs could be automated just by 2030, according to a 2020 report by McKinsey Global Institute. That represents about 1/3 of the global workforce. The report also found that AI is likely to have a disproportionate impact on low and middle skilled jobs. Other studies have also found that AI is likely to have a significant impact on the job market. A 2019 study by the Brookings Institution found that AI could displace almost half of the jobs in the United States. And the impact of AI on jobs is already being felt a lot in some industries. We're seeing Amazon use robots across its production floors. But it's not just that. In the retail sector, AI is being used to automate tasks in customer service and checkout. And in the transportation sector, AI is being used to develop self-driving cars and trucks. San Francisco now has 24/7 self-driving taxis roaming its streets. Imagine your primary source of income is being an Uber driver in the Bay Area right now. Now, while AI will eliminate jobs, it's also creating new jobs too, which of course happened during the Industrial Revolution. And when you hear about the debate, many people will often bring up the Industrial Revolution. The fact that it used to take 50% of the population to feed the other 50% of the population. This was the farming industry. Today, the farmers make up less than 1% of the workforce. The Industrial Revolution is a good example of how technological change can disrupt the job market. See, during that time, many people lost their jobs to machines, but many new jobs were created, and the overall standard of living improved. AI is going to be the same in that many workers will lose their jobs, but many new jobs will also be created. They're already being created. But is this time different? See, the Industrial Revolution had a number of positive and negative impacts. On the positive side, it led to productivity and economic growth, which raised the standard of living for many people. It created new jobs that more people were excited about and got rid of many jobs that many people were not that passionate about, and jobs that were extremely labor intensive. On the negative side though, it also caused a lot of chaos during the transition, and it would also lead to pollution and environmental decline. But here's why it might not be fair to compare the Industrial Revolution with what's happening to AI. When you look at the rate of change, AI has a compounding effect. The compounding effect of AI on job elimination is like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but it gets bigger and bigger the more it rolls. At first, AI was only used to automate simple tasks like sorting mail or scheduling assistants. But now AI is being used to automate a lot more complex tasks like writing code, diagnosing diseases. I mean, this has the potential to replace software engineers and doctors. And as AI becomes more powerful and more capable, it will only displace more and more jobs. This is because AI can do many tasks faster, better, and cheaper than we can, humans. Right now, AI-powered chatbots are already being used to provide customer service in many industries. And these chatbots can answer customer questions 24/7, and they never get tired tired or frustrated. Another example is software that is being used to automate tasks like accounting, legal research, and medical diagnosis. And the software can do these tasks with greater accuracy and efficiency than humans can. You probably use free public Wi-Fi a lot, it's convenient. But apparently this can open us up to a lot of problems like identity theft or data leaks. A hacker can literally position themselves between your device and the public Wi-Fi to eavesdrop on your traffic and steal your credit card numbers and passwords. So I recently started using the Aura app. Aura's privacy assistant removes all your data from mining sites, and they even send you automatic updates when there is suspicious activity. With its virtual public network, you can connect to any public Wi-Fi without fear. Since you're a viewer of my channel, you can get a free 14-day trial, and they'll do a scan and you can see right now if your personal information has been leaked online or not. You'll find out instantly. Click below to get your free trial and stay away from hackers. Now back to the video. The compounding effect of AI on job elimination is a serious concern for many people. To stay safe and not lose your job, at least in the short term, you will need to do these things. Invest in retraining and upskilling programs. These programs can help people learn skills they need to succeed in the AI-powered economy. Right now, there are so many courses on working with AI. And next, we need to encourage entrepreneurship and innovation. This will help create new jobs in the AI-powered economy. But what if all of that doesn't work? What if AI is just still smarter, faster, better? This is where universal basic income comes in. UBI, it's a policy proposal that would provide all citizens with a regular, unconditional sum of money. UBI is seen by some as a way to offset the potential negative consequences of AI-driven automation. And governments around the world are already testing this to see how it would impact society. Let's look at this high-profile UBI experiment in Stockton, California. It gave randomly selected residents $500 per month for 2 years. Now, unlike most government programs here, there was no strings attached. And the results found that it measurably improved participants' job prospects, financial stability, and overall well-being. This study, which was conducted by researchers from Stanford and the University of Chicago, found that UBI recipients were more likely to be employed and had higher earnings than those in the control group. They were also more likely to have savings and less likely to report financial hardship. Hold up, how is giving someone free money making them more likely to be employed? Well, it's only $500 per month. This is nowhere near enough to live off in California. But what was especially interesting was this. In addition to the positive impacts, UBI recipients reported improved mental and physical health, as well as increased feelings of empowerment and control over their lives. The study's authors conclude that UBI is, quote, a promising policy intervention for reducing poverty and improving the lives of low-income individuals and families. UBI has been tested in a number of other places around the world too, like Finland, Kenya, and Canada. The results of these studies have been mixed. A study in Finland found that UBI did not have a significant impact on employment rates. However, a study in Kenya found that UBI had a positive impact on food security and entrepreneurship. There are a number of pros and cons to UBI. See, on one hand, it could reduce poverty and inequality. It could also give people the freedom to pursue their own interests and to start their own business, if there is any business left to start because of AI. On the other hand, UBI would be expensive to implement, and it is not even clear whether it would be effective in offsetting the negative consequences of AI-driven automation. But whether or not governments need to adopt a UBI program in the future depends on 3 factors. First, it has to look at the pace and scale of AI-driven automation. Not every country is the same. Next, looking at the effectiveness of retraining and upskilling programs, and third, the social and political climate. See, if AI automation does displace 800 million workers like studies suggest, and retraining and upskilling programs are not effective, then UBI will be very helpful for those people who are left behind, who have no more jobs. But UBI would be insanely expensive to implement, and it's not even clear if this would be politically feasible. Despite that, Elon Musk has expressed support for UBI many times. He said,
"There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better." And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
And in a 2021 interview with Time magazine, Musk reiterated his support for UBI, saying, "I think we're going to have some kind of universal basic income in the future. It's just going to be necessary. There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better." Musk hasn't provided specific details about how he would implement UBI, but he said that he believes it is important to find a way to ensure that everyone has a basic level of income, even if they are unable to find a job. Now, his support is significant because he is one of the most influential people in the world, and his views on technology and the future are actually widely followed. His support for UBI could also help to raise awareness of the issue and make it more likely that UBI will be seriously considered as a policy option in the future. But hold up, this all sounds great, but how can a government actually afford to pay for all of this? I mean, governments already struggle to pay for programs and services. Well, imagine that you are a parent and you want to give your child a weekly allowance. You could afford to do this in a few ways. You could reduce your own spending on things like coffee and entertainment. You could ask your child to do more chores around the house in exchange for the allowance, or you could borrow money from a friend or family member. Same thing with the government. One way is they could raise taxes. This means that everyone would have to pay a little bit more in taxes each year to fund UBI. But that doesn't really make that much sense, since you're basically giving more money to the government so that it can give you money back. Another way to fund UBI is to cut back on other government programs. For example, the government could decide to eliminate some social welfare programs like food stamps or unemployment benefits. Finally, the government could also borrow money to fund UBI. This would mean that the government would have to pay back the money with interest in the future. So which of these options is the best way to fund UBI? Well, it depends on the country's specific circumstances. See, in some countries, rising taxes may be the best option. For example, in countries with very high income inequality, raising taxes on the wealthy could generate enough revenue to fund UBI without having to raise taxes on the middle class or the poor. In other countries, cutting back on other government programs may be the best option. For example, in a country with large social welfare budgets, cutting back on some of these programs could free up enough money to fund UBI. And in some countries, borrowing money might actually be the best option. For example, in countries with strong economies and low interest rates, borrowing money to fund UBI might be a relatively affordable way to implement the program. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to funding UBI. AI is going to change everything we know about everything. It's already creating new jobs and boosting productivity and economic growth. But in the long term, it will replace some jobs and increase inequality. But I want to know, what do you think? Should the government start giving out money, and how should they pay for it? Also, what else needs to be done to ensure that AI does not destroy us?